Has this ever happened to you? You're out shopping and then the cashier says, "Merry Christmas." And then you say, "Okay, thank you, have a great day." And then the cashier gets really angry and starts attacking you, starts punching you and hitting you.
Daniel Haqiqatjou in this video explains why no Muslim should reply with "Merry Christmas." Instead, you should say, "Thank you, have a good day." Now in the 21st century, we have these modern religious theologians who are spending actual time and energy on this really important issue. You see, you wouldn't want to end up committing shirk by mistake. You might actually be a nice person who just wants to wish people happiness on the religious holiday, but no, that's terrible. What would Allah think of you? What would Allah think about you building bridges and building bonds between fellow humans? What would he think about you being a nice guy who wishes well for others, returning the goodwill? Nah, can't have that. We have to time travel back to the 7th century, where in a tribal world of constant warfare, where religious identity trumped humanism and other religious followers were seen as the other to Muslims. Before I respond, just a disclaimer, not responding to Merry Christmas and Happy New Year is a Salafi position and is not agreed upon by all Muslims. Many Muslim scholars like Hamza Yusuf and Sohaib Webb, notably both Sufis, do in fact say it's perfectly fine to do this, as indicated in the article that Daniel has linked.
Has this ever happened to you? You're out shopping and then the cashier says, "Merry Christmas." And then you say, "Okay, thank you, have a great day." And then the cashier gets really angry and starts attacking you, starts punching you and hitting you and telling you, "Why aren't you accepting Christmas, you dirty Muslim?" Does that ever happen to you? Hasn't happened to me. In fact, I've never heard of such a thing. Yet we're getting all of this pressure from some Muslims that we have to return the greetings and say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Diwali. All of these kinds of greetings for non-Muslim religious festivals and holidays.
So right off the bat, Daniel has created this straw man, this imaginary situation that, somehow he's saying that, oh, Muslims are worried that if they don't say Merry Christmas, that the guy is going to come and beat you up or something or be offended. But why? What's the big deal in the first place? Why don't you accept Christianity, you dirty Muslim, whatever he said? Does anyone even think like that? It seems to me that it's only certain Muslims who are thinking like this. Who are thinking that if you say Merry Christmas, you're acknowledging, Christianity. But that's not the case. If you're saying Merry Christmas, you're simply not being a jerk. You're simply just being kind to people. You're simply returning the religious, you're simply saying, enjoy your holiday, right? Have a good holiday. Have a good festive holiday. Enjoy this special time. That's all you're saying. You're not saying, "I testify that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and also Merry Christmas." Nobody's doing that. Nobody's saying that. They're just saying Merry Christmas. Have a merry, happy holiday. That's all they're saying. Gosh, make things so complicated.
Don't people know that this is completely impermissible and that there's consensus on the issue? No scholar historically has ever said it was permissible for Muslims to congratulate non-Muslims on their holidays and their festivities.
Back to ancient times where you have Darul Islam and Darul Kufr, where you have the abode of Muslims and you have the abode of the disbelievers. And you shall not congratulate the disbelievers on their holidays, and you can't wish them Merry Christmas. And this type of thinking is bad for humankind. It's bad for humanity. It's bad for us. How is this a good thing? You want people to accept Islam, but you can't even say Merry Christmas to them? What kind of nonsense is that? And there's a funny comment actually written below that someone says, "If told Merry Christmas, I reply, I'm sorry, but I do not celebrate this day," which they usually apologize to. So, we can go even further with this, but let's see what he has to say.
You're the ones who are mindless, brainwashed. You're just following the cultural convention. You're just following what is culturally considered appropriate.
Yeah, it's called having manners, buddy.
Want to fit in. This is assimilation at its ugliest.
Whoa! Assimilation at its ugliest is to say Merry Christmas to someone or Happy Diwali. Whoa! Here you are living in the West. You got your mosques all over the place. You got your, your freedom of religion, your freedom of worship, and then you can't say Merry Christmas, and that apparently is so offensive to you. That's the worst of assimilation, that you have to say Merry Christmas. Nobody said you have to say it. But like, don't be a dick. Like, honestly, it's not complicated. Just don't be a dick.
Are violating clear principles of Islam for the purpose of fitting into the wider monoculture. This is exactly the project of prioritizing a kind of cultural Muslim identity over an actual Islamic commitment to obey the commands of Allah. Why do we see some of these Muslim leaders also engaging in what is haram and greeting and congratulating non-Muslims on their religious holidays? Recently, there was Linda Sarsour who said Happy Hanukkah, and she called non-Muslims the light. You are the light. What's the status of this kind of statement? It's completely haram. And depending on your interpretation, it might even be considered kufr.
Kufr, disbelief, haram.
If you're saying blessed Hanukkah, there is no blessing in kufr. It doesn't matter what is the religion other than Islam. This is kufr statement. But that's easy. Like anyone who has studied basic Islam knows this. What's interesting is that this person is being propped up as a leader for the Muslim community. Every other conference has her as the keynote. Why? Because she is promoting cultural Muslim identity over a commitment to Orthodox Islam.
Okay, whatever. I think like you're going too far with this, buddy. She's not the only one that says this, okay? You're trying to say no scholar ever said this. This article you linked right here on your website shows you like that there are scholars that said it's okay. Like scholars, we're not talking about Linda Sarsour, some activist lady, okay? We're talking about like actual scholars that said these things. There you go, it's all on here. So I don't know why you're trying to say this is they're only propping up these like liberal Muslims to try to encourage cultural Islam. No, nothing like that. But whatever, that's not even the point of my video here.
Role model for that. So you can see why she would be put in this kind of position of prominence despite her frequent violation of Islamic principles. The other flimsy excuse that people have is that, oh, well, I need to congratulate my neighbors and say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, because that's what being a good neighbor means.
Yes, that is what being a good neighbor means, buddy.
And in Islam, we have to be good neighbors. Okay, fine, I agree. It's important to be neighborly. But when was the last time you shared some food with your neighbors? When was the last time you went to your neighbors to see if they needed help carrying something or doing something? When was the last time you made a neighborly gesture like that? No, you aren't doing those kinds.
Yes, we are doing things like that. For your information, I do talk to my neighbors. We exchange gifts, we help each other out, like his car was dead or whatever. I lent him my booster cables. Like, we help each other. My Christian neighbors actually sent us gifts, chocolate and drinks, and this is a season of being festive. Are you trying to say because you're not, friendly with your neighbors, therefore you shouldn't even say Merry Christmas to them? You're trying to say because I'm not doing enough as a good neighbor, therefore I should do nothing? What? Doesn't even make sense.
Kinds of things. Why? Because that's not common in the culture. In the West, many neighbors don't even know each other. You could be living next to a person for 50 years and you won't even know the guy's name. But this is what is contrary to Islam, yet it is dominant within the Western modern culture.
I disagree. I do know my neighbors and we do talk, and you see them when you're going out, you see them when you're shoveling the snow in Canada. We have snow here, Yani. Like, there's lots of there's lots of times you interact with your neighbors. Sometimes, you even invite them over. Maybe it's common, maybe it's not common, but you're just generalizing here.
So first of all, tell me when you've done those kinds of things that are encouraged in Islam, are a part of the Sunnah. Instead, you want to jump to what is haram and what is impermissible. Yes, be kind to your neighbor. Yes, be neighborly as a Muslim, but do it in a halal way. Look, just admit it. This is not about wanting to be a good neighbor. You just want to fit in. You don't want to feel uncomfortable in what could potentially be an awkward situation.
Yes, it can be awkward to not say Merry Christmas back to the guy or girl who just finished telling you Happy Eid Mubarak, just a couple of months ago. They go out of their way to be kind and friendly, and even sometimes they'll say Salam Alaikum, right? But we can't even say back to them Happy Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. Really?
But it's very easy. Look, someone says Merry Christmas. All you have to say is thank you, have a great day. Thank you, have a great weekend. It's not that hard. I've done it hundreds of times, and every single time, no one has a problem with it. This fantasy world where non-Muslims get belligerent because you don't return their holiday greeting, newsflash, it doesn't exist. Bottom line, stop putting culture above Islam.
So, Merry Christmas, my neighbor. Thank you, have a good day. Merry Christmas, my fine neighbor Abdullah. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. That's the response you want to give. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Nice to see you. Bye. That's how you want to respond to someone that's saying Merry Christmas to you. I mean, let's just be frank. Instead of saying thank you very much, have a nice day, why don't you tell them Astaghfirullah. May God forgive me and forgive you. This is sinful in my religion. In my religion, we do not worship the man who called himself Jesus Christ. Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, he is God's holy servant. He is not to be worshipped by any man. He is just a man. He is a prophet. Now, you and your Merry Christmas trying to make me worship your God, you should know better. I am a Muslim. I do not worship any other God. So no thank you. I do not want no Merry Christmas. Instead, you will wish me Happy Eid. Eid Mubarak. That is from the true religion of Allah, not this Merry Christmas nonsense. Thank you very much. So why don't we respond like that? Why would you want to say thank you? You're saying thank you to kufr? The guy's inviting you to kufr and you're saying thank you? Why is that okay? If you want to take it all the way, man, this nonsensical stuff that you're teaching, go all the way. Just tell him, why are you saying Merry Christmas to me? I don't want no Merry Christmas from you. I don't worship Jesus. I mean, of course, you'll look like a fool because he's not telling you to worship Jesus. He's just saying Merry Christmas because he's assuming that, you have some time off. Maybe he doesn't know whether you celebrate Christmas. Maybe he thinks you're celebrating Christmas in a secular way, meaning you're enjoying the time off and you're buying some gifts for your kids and, Boxing Day deals and stuff like that. But, to go like this and, this is a very funny comment here that says, you can marry a Christian woman but remember, on Christmas, you can't tell her Merry Christmas. You have to look at her with an angry face, which is pretty funny. You're trying to say your religion allows you to marry a Christian woman, but you can't say Merry Christmas to her. That's freaking hilarious. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a response to Daniel Haqiqatjou. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Stay tuned, subscribe to Abdullah Samir if you're new here, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to support me if you can. Check out my Patreon. Thank you. Abdullah Samir signing out. By the way, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you.